When Johnny Depp broke his silence, fans were shocked. A whispered confession, a trembling smile, and a love born from soul and courage ignited a storm. Emotions ran high as whispers of betrayal, loyalty, and a forbidden spark threatened to divide everyone watching. The room felt too quiet when Johnny Depp finally spoke, his voice low, almost cracking, as if every word carried the weight of years he had kept buried. The cameras were rolling, but this was not a performance, not a role, not another dramatic monologue crafted for the screen. This was raw, and fans are shocked because they could feel it instantly. He leaned forward, hands clasped, eyes distant, and said he never expected to fall in love again, not after everything that broke him. The confession hit like a thunderclap because it wasn't about headlines or scandals, it was about her soul, her spark, and her courage, words that immediately sent the internet into meltdown. Those close to him later revealed that this story didn't begin with romance but with resistance. He had built walls so high that even friends joked he was hiding behind them like a character in one of his films. He trusted no one. Every smile felt like a trap, every compliment like a setup. When she entered his life, quietly and without warning, he barely noticed her at first. She wasn't chasing fame or flashing ambition, she listened, and that alone unsettled him. Emotions ran high when he admitted that her silence was louder than any declaration of love he had ever heard. Their first real conversation happened late one night, long after everyone else had left. He was restless, pacing, haunted by memories he couldn't outrun. She noticed, asked a simple question, and somehow that question cracked something open. He later said it felt like she could see the fractures he had spent years hiding. Fans are shocked by how he described that moment, saying he felt exposed and comforted at the same time, a combination he hadn't felt since before the chaos that once consumed his life. But nothing about their connection came easy. Rumors started almost immediately. Friends questioned her intentions. Family members whispered warnings. The family was left divided because some believed he was finally healing, while others feared he was walking into another heartbreak. Heated arguments erupted behind closed doors, voices raised, accusations thrown like daggers. Was she too good to be true? Was he too broken to love again? Every step forward seemed to come with 2 steps back. There was one night that changed everything, a night he referenced with trembling emotion during his confession. An argument exploded between them, sparked by something small but fueled by everything unspoken. He accused her of not understanding his pain, she accused him of hiding behind it. Words were said that couldn't be taken back, and for a moment it looked like this fragile bond would shatter completely. Fans are shocked to learn that he walked away that night, convinced he had ruined the one thing that felt real. She didn't chase him. Instead, she wrote him a letter, one that he kept folded in his pocket for weeks. In it, she didn't beg or apologize. She spoke about courage, about choosing love even when fear screams louder. When he read it, he broke down. This was the moment, he said, when he realized why he fell in love with her soul. Not because she stayed silent but because she stood firm without cruelty. Still, the outside world refused to stay quiet. Tabloids twisted their story. Fans picked sides. Strangers dissected every glance, every appearance, every rumor. Some claimed betrayal, others accused him of repeating old patterns. Emotions ran high as public pressure seeped into their private moments. There were days he questioned everything, days when he felt the old darkness creeping back. His friends worried, his family watched closely, and the tension never fully disappeared. One particularly painful incident involved a close friend who confronted him directly, accusing her of changing him. Voices were raised, tempers flared, and lines were drawn. The family was left divided again, this time more deeply than before. He admitted that confrontation almost pushed him to end things, not because he didn't love her, but because he was tired of fighting everyone at once. In his confession, his voice softened as he said she was the only one who didn't ask him to choose sides. Their relationship became a quiet rebellion against the noise surrounding them. Late-night conversations replaced public appearances. Shared laughter replaced red carpet smiles. Yet even in those intimate moments, tension lingered. He struggled with trust. She struggled with patience. There were tears, slammed doors, long silences that felt endless. But every time they came back to each other, it felt different, deeper, more intentional. Fans are shocked by how openly he described his fear of happiness. He said joy terrified him more than pain because pain was familiar. Loving her meant risking everything again, and that terrified him. She knew this and still stayed, not to fix him, not to save him, but to walk beside him. That realization, he said, was when her courage truly revealed itself. As the confession continued, he hinted at a moment that would later become a major twist in their story. A secret he kept even from her for a long time, a decision he made alone that almost destroyed what they had built. He paused before mentioning it, his eyes filling with emotion, leaving fans holding their breath. The way he described that turning point made it clear that everything up to that moment was only the beginning, and the storm that followed would test not just their love, but their very identities, pulling them toward a breaking point neither of them saw coming. The silence after that pause felt heavier than any accusation he had ever faced. He admitted that secret changed everything. He said there was a moment when fear won, when he believed walking away would protect both of them. Without telling her, he accepted a project overseas, planning to disappear for months, convincing himself distance would dull his feelings. Fans are shocked when he confessed that he thought love was something you survived by escaping before it could hurt you again. When she found out, it wasn't through him. A mutual acquaintance mentioned it casually, unaware of the damage those words would cause. Emotions ran high that night. She confronted him, her voice steady but shaking, asking why everyone else seemed to know his plans except her. He couldn't answer. The room filled with silence, the kind that feels louder than screaming. He later said that silence haunted him more than any argument they ever had. Their fight that night was unlike anything before. Accusations flew, not of betrayal in the traditional sense, but of emotional abandonment. She told him she felt erased from his decisions. He told her he was trying to protect her. She fired back that protection without trust was just another form of control. Fans are shocked by how raw this exchange was, how both of them stood exposed, stripped of defenses they didn't even realize they still carried. For the first time, she walked away. Not dramatically, not with slammed doors, but with quiet resolve. That departure shook him to his core. Friends later revealed he spiraled, questioning everything he believed about himself. The family was left divided once more. Some urged him to let her go, claiming love shouldn't feel like constant struggle. Others believed this was the moment he had to fight, truly fight for something real. Days turned into weeks with no contact. Rumors exploded. Fans speculated about breakups, betrayals, and secret agreements. Emotions ran high online, with strangers dissecting a story they barely understood. Meanwhile, he sat alone with the consequences of his silence. He admitted that loneliness returned, sharper than ever, because now he knew what he was missing. The turning point came unexpectedly. A message from her, short and honest, asking to talk. When they met, there were no accusations at first, just exhaustion. She told him she loved him, but love without courage would never survive. He listened, truly listened, perhaps for the first time. He admitted his fear, his instinct to run, his belief that happiness was temporary. Fans are shocked by how vulnerable he allowed himself to be in that moment. That conversation didn't fix everything, but it cracked the door open. They decided to take things slowly, rebuilding trust piece by piece. Yet the world refused to give them peace. Another twist emerged when someone from his past resurfaced, stirring old wounds and reigniting public controversy. Accusations resurfaced, dragging his name back into chaos. Emotions ran high again as pressure mounted from every direction. She stood beside him during that storm, not in front of cameras but in private moments when doubt crept in. He confessed that her presence during that time redefined love for him. Not grand gestures, not dramatic declarations, but quiet loyalty. Fans are shocked when he said this was when he truly fell in love, not at the beginning but in the middle of the mess. Still, tension followed them. There were moments he almost sabotaged everything again. One argument became so intense that he questioned whether he was capable of change at all. She challenged him, asking if he wanted to be defined by his past or brave enough to write a different future. Those words stayed with him, echoing long after the argument ended. He admitted there were nights he sat alone, replaying her words, realizing courage wasn't about fearlessness, but about staying even when fear was overwhelming. The family was left divided less often now, slowly seeing the change in him. Friends noticed a difference too, a softness mixed with strength they hadn't seen in years. As his confession neared its end, he revealed that loving her forced him to confront himself in ways no role ever had. She didn't save him, she didn't fix him, she reflected him. Fans are shocked by how he described that reflection as both painful and beautiful. He said her soul met his without judgment, her spark reignited parts of him he thought were gone, and her courage challenged him to choose love consciously every single day. The story didn't end with perfect harmony. Questions remained, wounds hadn't fully healed, the future was uncertain, but he smiled through tears as he said this love was real because it was honest. And as the screen faded, it was clear this confession wasn't just about her. It was about a man finally learning that love isn't something you escape from, but something you face head on, even when the cost feels terrifying. As this emotional confession from Johnny Depp continues to echo across the internet, fans are shocked and divided over what comes next. Is this love strong enough to survive the past, the pressure, and the scars that still linger? Emotions ran high, questions remain unanswered, and the future feels uncertain. Now it's your turn. What do you think about his words, her courage, and the love they fought for? Drop your thoughts in the comments, share your opinion, and join the conversation. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next shocking update.